Now, there's two things that that I want to bring up when I pour this. One, you are going to taste this to make sure this is the champagne that you want it. The other thing I do, and I do this at home and I do it in restaurants, when I hold a bottle of champagne, I always make sure my guest, the host, always sees the label. That is very important. This is a prestige product. A lot of thinking went behind the label. It's the least that we could do. So when I hold it, label always shown to the guest, to the host, and always poured from the right side.
The right side, always.
Always poured from the right side. So you, as the host, I will pour you, just I would pour you a red wine or a white wine to start with, to get your approval that this champagne meets your approval.
All right.
And as with wines, it's only a small taste that you pour. It's probably less than half an ounce. And now what you're looking at the fine bubbles, the little crown around the top of the champagne. These are all the important characteristics there. So part of it is the visual. You notice the color. It's a nice pale, almost kind of like a pale little green tinge to it, indicative as to this particular style champagne.
What do you want me to do now?
Now, just as I would treat another champagne, I would take a short little sniff. Not a lingering sniff, a little, and that gives me my first...
Oh, I see the difference. Okay, I get that.
That's the
first. It hits you quick, doesn't it?
Exactly. And now just a little taste. And
it's very lemony, it's very, there's so much more flavor there.
Right.
Drink it.
Now take a little sip of it. And as I took a little sip of this, what I would allow that to do is run around my tongue. That is going to cover all the...
I drank it. Did I do it too quick? I couldn't help myself.
I don't blame you. It's such delicious. A good champagne.
It just ran down my throat. Did I do it wrong? You better pour another glass. Let's do another. Let's do another one. Let's practice, David. It's kind of a small little taste, you know.
Well, and if you notice, like when I poured the champagne too, right when I finished it, I just gave a little twist to the bottle.
Do that again, because I didn't see. Why did you do that?
Well, you'll see that.
Let me drink this first before I retwist it. Hold on, I'll do it for you.
Okay. Now, the reason I do that...
I'm American. I can do this. Watch the twist. Hey!
It's to prevent any drops from falling on the table. It's just a neat, clean execution.
Well, it's so expensive. We don't want it on the table, right?
We don't want to waste a drop.
Not a drop.
Of this. Not a drop.
That's probably the most sense you've made all night. That's something I can identify with, Dave. I get that. Yeah. I totally get that. Now, what was I supposed to do with this?
Okay. Now, one thing that you're doing, and maybe you're doing it automatically, being a wine drinker, you really don't want to give it a lot of movement, because now you're going to kind of dissipate the effervescence. Champagne, because of its sparkles.
Swirling.
No swirling with champagne. No swirling.
It's not a burgundy.
Exactly. And you swirl to release the aromas. What the effervescence of champagne does, it automatically releases the aromas. So there's no need to swirl. And as a matter of fact, by swirling, what you'll do is that you'll dissipate those little bubbles. And so now when you taste it, after we've gone through the visual exploratory look at this, with this, if you notice right around that little crown.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Do you see that?
I see.
Pretty
around
cool.
The edges, they're just tiny, tiny, tiny around the edges.
It's called a crown.
Tiny. That's the crown?
That's the crown.
Those little bubbles there around the perimeter thing.
Yeah, and if you see the bubbles are gently rising from the bottom of the glass, we call those beads. And if you notice, it's not frothy, it's not over live. It's not explosive. What it is, it's that real nice, soft sensation. It's like what the quote that Dom Perignon had when he first discovered champagne. My God, there's stars in my wine. And that is a little bit of what is happening right here.
Really?
So when you take a sip, allow it to run across your palate Don't swig it. And you get all those sensations there. You know, you might get a little lemony type of quality
Delicious.
with this one.
It's really good.
Absolutely, absolutely.
more.
You can have some more.